J-Mady with final instructions. You heard the instructions in the dressing room.
Hey.
Alan Massengill working with Rich Barrera. Rich, it's here.
Sequels rarely live up to the original. These two will try to make it happen here tonight. There's no reason to think they won't put on a magnificent show.
Morales, 31 knockouts. It's scheduled for 12, and it's on. Erik Morales in the black trunks with the silver trim. Marco Antonio Barrera in his familiar silver trunks with the blue trim.
The tapia that you see on the back of Barrera's trunks, no reference to Johnny Tapia. That's his mother's maiden name, and he honors her in that way.
On the front of the trunks of Erik Morales, Terrible, as he simply is known in Mexico. This is the battle for country and pride and honor. Who is the best? And you can bet everybody south of the border is watching tonight.
I think we'll see a little more boxing in this fight than we did in the first fight, mainly because Barrera has adjusted his style to that type of fight. But actually, Morales showing some boxing here in the early round, in the first round as well. Both look a little bit wary of each other here at the start after they spent 12 rounds smashing each other.
There's a good right hand that got in from Barrera. There's no damage. Barrera's typical busy, aggressive style. And you would think, Rich, that Morales would like to stay more on the outside. Keep him out there with the jab. And I guess it's the general consensus, Rich, that the better boxer is Morales.
And I think what Morales is trying to do here, though, while staying on the outside, is to get Barrera going backwards and get Barrera moving. Now you see Marco is not uncomfortable fighting, going side to side, as he proved with Hamed. He did not come in as the aggressor in that fight, which surprised many who expected him to go right at Hamed.
Coming up on 1 minute left in round one, scheduled for 12 from the MGM Grand Garden Arena. It's a packed house to see this fight that people have wanted to see for over 2 years now. The rematch of the fight of the year of 2000. And back comes Morales, backing up Barrera.
In the first fight, and one of the reasons why you had wildly divergent scorecards, you had so many exchanges and flurries that the rounds were terribly hard to call.
They would just go, it was like an ebb and flow, especially that fifth round we saw. One guy looked like he would be gassed, and then the other one would come back. And there's Morales pushing Barrera back. Morales has been the pursuer. Good combination to the head. Final seconds, round one. They're starting to heat up a little bit, and you can feel it. Stumbling, Morales stumbled just a little bit.
Barrera tried to make him pay, but Morales got away with it.
Pretty.
Lo que quedamos, se te pasó un golpe. Ponte un poquito más de lado con la guardia arriba, ¿sí? Sigue trabajando tu jab, ahorita lo vas a estar counteando, recibiendo.
Go sideways a little more, don't stand so straight up.
Tiene las manos muy así, entonces sigue tirando. Vas arriba y tira.
They want him to box. That's they want him to move a little bit more, move side to side. There's a Barrera right hand that he landed early in the round. I thought Barrera controlled the early portion of the round, but then Morales came back and took the last minute and a half. So that was similar to the first.
Yeah. So where do we go with that? Somebody's got to get a 10.
On my scorecard, Morales got the 10 in that first round.
Okay. Round two. You can feel it starting to heat up a little bit. Morales was the aggressor at the end of round one. It's scheduled for 12. And they want Barrera to box a little more.
And he is coming out, going or utilizing the lateral movement. That can't be a total surprise for Morales because Barrera used the lateral movement and the boxing ability, as we told you, not only against Hamed, but in his subsequent fight against Enrique Sanchez, in which he just boxed an almost perfect fight to stop Sanchez in 7 rounds.
Barrera able to escape some big punches by Morales, who's not been afraid to throw them. We've seen this about the last half of the first round and now into the second round.
The one problem you have here, if you're among the Barrera camp, is Marco Antonio. Yes, he's an effective boxer. There you see him utilizing the jab, and he's boxing here in the second round. But he may have to fight off the real temptation, which is probably wants to go in and slaughter. Let's face it.
Well, he does.
He doesn't like that guy in front of him.
No, they don't like each other at all. We've mentioned that several times, and it is genuine dislike that goes way back when. There's no in between, and Morales pressing a little bit, and back comes Barrera. You just get the feeling that Barrera, as Rich was saying, wants to get right in there and start throwing as close as he can get in. Nice little uppercut.
Yep, Barrera got in there with the right hand.
Right on the chin.
And Barrera is making Morales back up in this round.
Both fighters saying they're in the shape of their life. I think the extra 4 pounds may help Morales more in terms of stamina. There's some good body punches right there, Rich. Morales is going where he can.
Morales has an unusual stance. He may be cut. He's wiping at his eye and looking for blood. He has an unusual stance in that he holds his hands very far apart. He keeps his right hand usually tucked against the right side of his cheek and holds his left hand way out in front. And there would seem to be an opening there for Barrera, but they would have to be straight punches, and Barrera doesn't always punch straight.
He comes at you from different angles, that is for sure.
Barrera trying to gain control by gaining control of the style and the tempo of the fight.
He went and ate a little leather right then. He stepped right into it. That's where he wants to be. Nice little flicking jab from Morales, that awkward style that Rich Barrera was talking about. Holding that right hand up around his right cheek and that left hand out there. It just seems like it invites you to come right in. And when you do come in, he flicks the jab and pops you back. You know, it's like a trap. Final seconds, round 2 scheduled for 12. Everybody anticipating the rumble that they know is coming. Another difficult round to score, Rich.
McGill is such a good cut man. You know, unless it got to be a very unusual type gash, they should be able to control that.
So you gave number two to Barrera.
Right, so I show the fight even at this point.
It's going to go that way pretty much unless somebody winds up on the canvas. I can guarantee it. Round 3. Marco Antonio Barrera's in the silver trunks. Erik Morales in the black trunks. Now, he usually wears white with blue trim. He went with the black tonight.
As I suspected, though, Barrera boxing far more than he did in the first round.
Up on his toes. Now he's moving out there, and this is a different type fighter than we saw in the last fight.
He'll pick his spots. The word that I got from the Barrera people is that he was going to mix it up tonight. Sometimes be aggressive, sometimes go into complete boxing posture. And I would say that they're, living up to their game plan in that regard.
People getting anxious out in the crowd to start to see something happen.
They want to see that explosion.
Well, it's coming. Sooner or later, it's coming. Crowd reacting to every flurry. No damage inflicted. A lot of respect for one another. You have to say that much, Rich. As much damage as they sustained the first fight, you know that they're thinking about it when they go into these first early rounds of this. We're scheduled for 12. This is round 3, but sooner or later, it'll start heating up. There's no doubt about it.
In the meantime, you've got an interesting stylistic contrast here. And each guy trying to establish the style that the fight will be fought in. Morales looks like he'd be more than willing to brawl again.
Absolutely.
And Barrera not letting him.
Well, styles make matchups, as we always say a million times, and this is what makes this such an intriguing matchup. 2 different ways of going about it. First time it worked out Erik Morales, but he's chasing Barrera down.
But missing. He just missed all of the punches of that sequence.
Couple of feints, and then he goes in and then wraps him up. J80 steps in quickly. One of the best referees in the world.
Come in.
Going to get a warning here about headbutts. Be careful. We don't want one of those. That can ruin a good fight. Over in the corner goes Barrera. Now he's boxing. Look at the lateral movement, Rich.
Yeah, they're fighting intelligently. Lateral movement and jabs, forcing Morales to miss. Hit and get out of there. You didn't see any of that in the first fight.
No, and you see Morales backing off away from those punches.
There's a long recovery time, I'm sure, for those two bodies.
Absolutely. Round 4 of the scheduled 12 from Las Vegas. From the MGM Grand Garden Arena, Alan Madison got along with Rich Marotta.
Marco Antonio Barrera almost didn't even make it to world champion. He was so disgusted. He fought a long time. He was really having trouble getting a championship fight. He fought for years, was fighting for foreign boxing back then. He never left them. But he said at one point, if I don't get a championship fight within the next few months, I'm going to go back to school. And he was a college educated, and he was going to study to be a lawyer. And they got him. They secured him that championship fight with Daniel Jimenez. He won the title, and he put the books aside in the subsequent years.
A bit of, as we've mentioned, considered a late bloomer, but he went through some frustrating stages, and right now may be the best he's ever been.
And you may be right. And he had the learning experiences with Junior Jones and just became a better fighter.
We're in round 4.
And Barrera is moving constantly to his left, Alan.
Right.
He's attempting to get away from the power and the Morales left hook by moving constantly to his left.
That's something he picked up from that first fight. It's something that they were thinking he should have been doing more of, and of course he has come here prepared to stay away from that.
Completely different fight than the first time around.
Absolutely.
What we've got here is a chess match between two guys who fought a savage brawl the first time, and the fans can't believe it.
And they're booing it.
And the reason it's happening is because Barrera is dictating the tactics.
Exactly.
He is dictating the style that this fight is being fought at.
That's
what he feels will be a winning strategy.
Yep. And he may be surprising the other camp with what he's doing anyway. Now, at any moment, he could shift gears on us. But I didn't anticipate I'd see this much footwork from him tonight. I don't think Erik did either. Erik Morales trying to hop on Barrera, gets him back on the ropes, and they tie up.
And he may win the favor of the fans that way, Morales.
The Mexican fight fans make it a commitment to have courage in the ring, and they honor that. Morales is trying to get something done, cutting off the ring, yet being cautious at the same time. Barrera steps inside, throws a flurry, no damage. Final seconds, round 4. He's falling behind early here, but there's a long way to go going to round 5 of the scheduled 12. We'll see if Barrera continues that leftward movement, good footwork. But he does indeed need to land a few more punches.
Last time these two fought, round 5 was as dramatic a round as you'll ever find. Named round of the year. Perhaps this is where this fight kicks into gear.
Well, everybody's waiting.
It's like you can almost hear everyone holding their breath.
I know. and reacting to every little flurry that occurs. Just sitting on go. Everybody's sitting on go, and there's Barrera out there as patient and as cool as a cucumber. We've mentioned before that Erik looks stronger at this weight. He said he's more comfortable with it. I just saw all bones at 122. It was amazing the stamina that he had at 122 when you think about it.
Okay, though, if this gets into the late rounds, I want to see how Morales reacts, because he had some problems in the late rounds of some of his fights in the interim between these two fights. Late against Gudea-Spadas, some of the later rounds against Injin Chi.
Injin Chi was real tough and it suffered a headbutt in that fight, which sort of dictated the way things went. But he came out of the Injin Chi fight looking marked up, and had a rough time with that guy. Went the distance.
As did the Gudea-Spadas fight.
Once again, Morales cutting off the ring, and Barrera popping a punch as he comes off the ropes.
That could be a key for Morales, though. He's going to need to be successful at cutting off the ring and not just let Barrera dance around him the whole night. You can't follow Barrera just straight in.
There's a low blow from Barrera. Obvious. Final half a minute of round 5.
No real damage done in terms of either fighter being hurt so far in the fight.
And there's the spot over there that Morales always seems to get Barrera in. Pretty good right hand there, Rich, and then the combination. Now they're engaging in the final 15 seconds of round 5.
I thought Morales landed the best punch in that exchange. Right hand. Oh, Morales thinks the round is over.
The round was over, and Barrera hopped on him real quick. Oh my, that's a mistake.
There we go.
And he comes back. And Morales had something to say to Barrera right at the end.
Well, I think from the just. Well, none of the seconds have gotten out of the ring.
Well, they came to see a fight. That might have kick-started the thing. We'll see. "12 rounds for the World Featherweight Championship." Morales looks sharp. Very accurate punches right inside there.
Yes, Marco Antonio is going to have to get busy with his hands.
I think that from what we've seen, probably Morales has taken most of these early first rounds. But it's not going to be early much longer, is it?
Stop! Erik!
Good counter punch from Barrera.
Snuck it inside there real quick. He had an opportunity and he took advantage of it. Here we go a little bit over in the corner with a minute and a half left in round 6.
Another low blow. Complaining to referee Jay Nady. The fans get on Morales a little bit, though. I don't think they felt it was that low, and Nady didn't even issue a warning. Barrera's looking for that little counter left hook that landed earlier. He tried it again there, but not quite the same extent.
That seems to be there if he could get in position to throw it.
There it is again.
Yeah, right there. That seems to be what he's trying to load up with.
He wants to let Morales miss and then counter with that left.
So look for that when Morales throws that right and leaves it out there.
Oh, big right by Barrera.
Exactly. Morales shakes it off. Barrera sticks that left hand out there and pushes off the forehand of Morales. Barrera looking for those openings and looking for the big shot. He's going straight in now. So much for the dancing.
Remember, he said, as I talked about earlier, he's going to change up on his tactics in this fight from round to round, whether they, box some and then go in and slug. He's been mostly boxer, but maybe now he's being aggressive.
This time Morales realizes that is the 10-second warning and not the bell. Now he's kind of torn.
Jay said, hey, carry on.
He got the stone face. He got the daddy stone face when you make those appeals. All right, here we go, round 7. 12-round fights, halfway over. Pretty tough one to score.
I have it even through 6.
There's that left hook over the top. Morales steps out of it. And like you said, it's Barrera dictating the styles. Another low blow, and now the warning comes from Jay Nady. You all right? We'll step in and fight. Morales, the taller of the two fighters.
I think Barrera's getting a little impatient. So he's looking at it to force some activity.
Exactly. And so's the crowd. There you go. That's exactly what you were talking about, Rich. Both giving and taking. Morales holds that glove up by his right cheekbone. Almost on cue, Rich, when you said he was getting a little impatient, and there he comes. Now he turns his back and steps out of a situation.
But I just think it's his inclination to want to fight.
Oh, there's a body punch, and the nose is a slip.
No knockdown.
No knockdown.
Morales thought that he scored the knockdown. Referee Jay Nady says no. And you got to remember, that's very important in terms of the scoring, because Barrera's probably winning this round. And otherwise, you'd have had a Morales 10-8 round. I mean, that would have been a 3-point swing if Barrera does, in fact, win this round.
Well, his instincts are going to get the better of him because he's definitely stepped it up. There's a good combination to his head. Morales throwing some nice, accurate punches when he's given the opportunity. You got to say that for him. There's another good combination inside. They wrap up now. Jay Nady separating him. Coming up on 20 seconds left in round 7. This is usually when Barrera gets a little bit busier once he gets those warnings. If it goes past 6 at Morales, you're probably going the distance. Here they go, final seconds, engaging. Whoa! I thought it was a knockdown from the start, and I called it that way, but immediately I saw, you got to get the referee credit for one thing. He was immediate with his decision. He jumped right on it, but it was the incorrect decision.
Well, yeah, I don't think it was the right decision.
So there you have it, and perhaps another controversy brewing in this one. If that looms large at the end, should have been a 10-8 round. No doubt it was a knockdown. Now Morales stepping in and pushing Barrera back with a jab, and Barrera stepping back. There's that little hook that Rich Morales has been trying to talk about. Morales just adjusted a crick in his neck.
Bad time for one of those.
Yeah, he's stretching it out. Barrera will be glad to help him with it.
Good jabbing work by Morales.
This is not the fighter, Erik Morales, we saw in the first fight. He's a beautiful technician, and he has power behind it, and this is the Morales we're seeing. If it's going to turn into one of those street wars, it's going to be on Barrera's beckoning.
Morales can fight a strategic battle, can fight a good technical fight, and he's showing very fine technical skills in this round. You're right, he is showing what he can do in the ring. And there have been many fights in his career when he's fought like this and basically broken his opponent down as the fight goes on. But Morales fighting a very effective round here.
Here we go. Little shove there.
Well, these bad feelings between the two may erupt yet.
Well, you know, you can only hold the genie in the bottle for so long. I didn't see on that side over there behind the ropes. Did they take a point, Rich? Or he just threatened to?
No.
Just a warning.
No
I couldn't
point
see
deduction.
behind the ropes. Make sure we had that clear. That was just an out-and-out WWF move from Barrera.
Of course, it still wasn't as good as the one that he leveled Naseem Hamed with in the 12th round of their fight when he got him from behind, took him all the halfway across the ring, and smashed him into the turnbuckle face first.
In the rodeo, we call that bulldogging. That's what he did. He bulldogged him. Final 30 seconds of round number 8.
Nady did not take a point. Remember, thinking, here comes Barrera now.
Barrera trying to get something done. A rabbit punch behind the head. A couple of those.
His first offense of the round, really. Other than the throwdown. Now Barrera.
He's just unleashing now. Barrera's just coming at him now. And I think he's going to come out in round 9, and it's going to be on from the get-go, Rich. I thought that was a beautiful technical round for Morales for the first 2.5 minutes.
Boxed very well. Dr. Margaret Goodman, very fine ring physician, and they're taking a look at Morales. All right, here you see Barrera holding him down, throwing the left hook to the body. And Nady didn't feel that it was flagrant enough to take a point away. He did hold his head down, no question about it, through the left hook. So they've both gone down from a punch, but neither one is counted.
Well, that was a beautiful body shot from Morales through.
Tienes que noquearlo porque si no, cabrones, el referee, olvídate. No está permitiendo todas las pinches. Seconds out.
He's ready to go. The bell rang, and Barrera was sitting on go and was going across the ring even before the bell finished clanging. So I think that it's going to be some pressure here. Here comes the pressure, Rick.
Yeah, Barrera is going to fight this round as an aggressive fighter.
Yep, and he's going to be paying for it right there on the inside. Morales got his hands held down. A little swelling on the right eye of Morales, as you can see.
Exactly right. His face now starting to show the battle scars.
Now, if that thing closes up, Rich, that's a major factor. And it's swelling pretty quickly. So he wouldn't be able to see out of that right eye. And that left hook of Barrera is the one that's been the most effective. Barrera backing Morales up. Morales holding his hands down around his waist.
Now, Morales is going to have to show that he can counter Barrera here and counterpunch him if Barrera comes in with the aggressively swinging. He's got to make Barrera miss and counter with something. Morales really got a nice jab, working it nicely. There it is again, doubling up on him.
That's how he's got to keep him off of him, is with that jab. And time will be a factor in this fight. We're in round 9, and we've got a swollen eye for Erik Morales, so his corner's got to be very diligent. Most of those punches just brushing past the nose of El Terrible.
Remember, though, this is about where he began wearing down against Gudi Espadas, where he began wearing down against Injun Chi.
Suffered a terrible headbutt against Injun Chi, and in the later rounds was looking gassed.
And he can't afford to wear down against Marco Antonio Barrera.
That's what perhaps Barrera was waiting for. Barrera's aware of all this. 3 punches that missed. That one didn't.
But Barrera's coming.
And Morales is coming off the ropes. He's been coming from the get-go in this round, perhaps his best round. This is the Marco Antonio Barrera we know. And that's also the Erik Morales we know. Good combinations to keep him at bay. Right hand that got in on the chin a little bit.
Yeah, a little nod of acknowledgement from Barrera.
The chopping punches. There's a good right, too.
Tough rounds to score.
Oh, they're very difficult to score because there's an ebb and flow. Barrera early, then Morales here in the last half a minute of this one. Winding down round 9. After this, there'll be 3 more rounds to go. Now Barrera likes that last 10 seconds and hops on Morales. Morales manages to tie him up, gets a warning, does Barrera. Watch the head.
That eye's not looking too good on Morales.
No, it's not. Like I said, time could be a factor, Rich, because that eye's looking rough.
Ya estamos en el décimo.
Estamos en el décimo.
10, 11 y 12. Hay que cerrar los 3 rounds para ganar la
In the
pelea.
10th
¿okay?
round, Marco.
No me
3
brillan
more
por el
rounds,
lado
we win the
izquierdo.
fight.
Ya presione más. Ya deje esa prepotencia de andar bajando las pinches manos, de andar para atrás. Vámonos, con todo para adentro.
Don't lower your hands, Erik. Do not lower your hands.
Quiere el triunfo, quiere la gloria. Vámonos. Pártase la madre.
Let's take a look at some of it.
And a much more aggressive Marco Antonio Barrera in round 9. Putting the pressure on Morales, coming forward. Morales doing a good job there, but still couldn't halt the onslaught. There you get a good look at that eye of Morales.
It's looking a little soupy, isn't it? Last time his face didn't look so good coming out of the fight against Zhan. Didn't look so good coming out of the fight against Barrera, that's for sure. And as these guys get older, the more wear and tear on them, they blow up a little bit quicker.
Well, he caught Morales coming in, and Morales came right back.
Came right back with a nice chopping style. Short punches inside. Barrera trying to get in there, throwing a big right hand. Lead right from Morales. Barrera coming right back. You tell me, these things are tough. Had a knockdown that wasn't ruled a knockdown.
A throwdown that wasn't.
A throwdown that wasn't ruled a knockdown.
And in each case, though, a body punch landed. So they've each gone to the canvas, but no knockout.
Morales is sharp, up on his toes. Barrera's been forced to retreat in some situations because he's tasting that jab. I think both fighters look real good, Rich. Even though there's not as much action as we had in the first fight. From a pure boxing standpoint, you can tell how both are accomplished in what they do.
Oh, we're seeing a lot of skills here tonight. Barrera's ability to move, box. Morales' long jab, his ability to counter.
In the 10th round, only 2 to go after this. Pretty solid right hand that landed in there.
And a clash of heads, too.
Which is not to Morales' favor right now with that eye.
In the corner of Barrera, they're waving him in. They're telling him to come in after Morales, but he's not coming in. He's going back.
He's going back because he's getting knocked back. Nice flurry from Morales. Morales is getting busy now. Perhaps sensing something out of Barrera. Morales' eye looking woeful.
That headlock by Barrera.
Yeah, he does more of those. The corner for Barrera, all 3 gentlemen are waving, come in, and there's Morales going in. They want him to come in. I think there's a little bit of worry over there, Rich.
I think they don't like that Marco Antonio Barrera has gone back to a movement and trying to box in this round, and Morales is taking the round from him.
Exactly. Nice right hand. Stepping in now. Look at the confidence of Morales. His corner does not want him to have his hands down there. Into round 10. Boy, they've got to go to work. Time is of the essence on that eye, but that corner is brilliant. Let's hear what's going on here.
We've got to win the last 2 rounds, Marco. We're losing the fight, Marco. Keep going straight, throw your jabs, straight jabs.
Well, there you have it. Let's take a look at some of the action.
I thought Morales won that round, and you see some of the action in which he came forward. Morales, his face already bearing the scars of battle in this fight, used a great jab in that round, and I thought he controlled the round.
Fighting practically with one eye. Barrera has not been able to take advantage of that. Out comes Barrera. His corner has told him it's go time. We're in the 11th round, scheduled for 12, the rematch between Erik Morales and Marco Antonio Barrera. Barrera trying to get in there, trying to come forward. His corner worried that he's losing the fight.
I think Barrera will go back to being the aggressive fighter in this round. He got a talking to in that corner. They wanted to give Marco Antonio a little sense of desperation.
Nice jab. Morales has had a nice jab all night, hasn't he? On the top of the head, close to being a foul, then he comes in and then gets hit on the chin from Morales with that jab.
That eye is nearly closed, Alan.
Yeah, it's
that
bad.
Eye of Morales is looking very bad.
It's very bad, and there's that left hand that Barrera needs to take advantage because we got a one-eyed fighter out there right now. Vision only in one eye for Morales.
Right, so Barrera will try to move to that side. He'll move to his left, which he's been comfortable in doing anyway, and throw hooks from that side.
Erik's been doing a good job of keeping him off with the jab, even though he's had the lateral movement. Little 1-2 inside there. Look at Barrera. He's finally trying to let his hands go a little bit. Right over the top. Erik Morales doing what he does best with. He's moving, good movement, good boxing, landing the punches, trying to get combinations in. Barrera's got to get inside and land some punches. One minute left, round 11.
Problem is, of course, in each round, a guy does look at his best for 30 seconds, and then the other guy looks
That's the problem.
doing what he does.
Ebb and flow in this thing. The Barrera corner right over here to our left is motioning for him to come on in like a wave. The quickness of Morales evident. Another right hand. He set it up, that little jab, and Barrera wants this. Morales shaking his head, his eyes swollen, almost shut. He's going to have to fight that last round with one eye if they get out of this one.
Tough job to be a judge tonight.
Absolutely. Barrera landed a nice punch. Under 15 seconds left. 10 seconds left. This is usually when Barrera's just letting it all hang out, and he's still cautious.
And Morales up on his toes and dancing in the last few seconds.
Necesitamos ganar el round, tirarlo al güey, ¿ok? Ya, Marco, tú eres muy bueno.
You gotta go for it in this round. That's Ricardo Maldonado, his longtime manager, talking to him from the outside. Miguel Diaz trying to force that eye open, bring that swelling down, looking to push it down. And they're telling Morales, you've got to try to knock him out.
Nobody knows who's winning. Both sides are concerned they're not going to get a decision.
Action from the 11th round. Morales looking a little discouraged right there. I can't believe we've had both corners tell our guys, you've got to knock him out.
Yeah.
Or you at least you've got to get the last round.
Well, I guess it's on now then. 12th and final round from the get-go. Barrera's trying to knock out, Morales is trying to knock out Barrera. Both corners thinking that's the situation. How it's been judged, we don't have a clue.
Barrera with the
Morales is in
advantage.
trouble, and he steps out of it, shaking his head, which usually means he was in trouble.
He shook his head near the end of the 11th round, I thought just kind of a note of discouragement from Erik right there at the end of the 11th round.
And Rich Murata had noted in some of his later fights he's been having trouble in these later rounds. It's on, good right hand.
Again, the warning for pushing Morales down and hitting him. And he did hit him.
Yes, he did. Good right hand from Barrera.
Remember,
Barrera fight back.
Barrera scored the disputed knockdown in round 12 of their first fight, which many felt would clinch the fight for him, but it did not, obviously.
Here comes Barrera landing hard shots to the body and to the head. Stepping in and throwing. There's Erik Morales throwing combinations.
Did you expect anything less than the two of them still to be throwing in the last half of the last round of this fight?
Barrera still stalking. Morales keeping him at bay. Two great warriors in the ring tonight, that is for sure. Morales looking like he was hurt by a body shot. Now he's holding. Right eye, he can't use that eye, Rich.
Wow,
it looks
really
bad. It looks really bad. He courageously fighting back. Barrera trying to press the attack. We're under 1 minute left, final round. Who is the best featherweight in the world? This round just might determine it. They've been throwing from the get-go. Morales looking a little wobbly. Barrera taking a punch. Gennady stepping in. Final half minute. Barrera continues to push. Landed.
Pandemonium inside the MGM Grand. This final round's a doozy.
It's a good one. It's a classic. Final 10 seconds. It's gone the distance. Still punching, both fighters.
Anyone for a third fight?
There's going to be one, I'm sure. Be surprised by
12th round action. Beautiful right by Morales. Barrera coming in. They began to wildly slug at times in this round the way that they did in the first fight. They both had their moments in that final round. There you see Barrera with a brilliant combination of 4 punches, all of which landed.
That is entertainment. That's...
Morales fighting back. You know, I think both of these guys had it on their mind that I don't care what the other guy throws at me, I am not going down.
Wouldn't it be ironic that if
the two best featherweights in the world came into the ring, but now only one will leave as the very best? We go to the Budweiser scorecards. Chuck Champa scores the contest 116 to 112. Mike Gliena and Dwayne Ford have it 115 to 113. All for the winner by unanimous decision. De Ciudad de Mexico, Marco Antonio Barrera.
there you have it, Rich. I just set it up for you. I thought that Morales fought more of his fight, more of his style tonight, and got beaten by Barrera. And in the first fight, they fought Barrera's tight fight, and a decision went to Morales. Morales is leaving the ring quickly. I don't think he's going to stick around for an interview.